Well, twist my melons, man, and forget your Blue Mondays. We're back with Biba Fever, sponsored by our friends at LV. So don't sit down, do some freaky dancing with the conference show that advocates that it's great when you're straight, but it's better if you had a few cheeky cocktails before breakfast. And joining me for the first show, I'm delighted to say that from the LV Brotherhood, I'm joined by this charming man, Phil Bunker, and the not-so-northern country boy, Michael Lawrence. We're also delighted to have another Biba veteran, our own insurance age editor, Emmanuel Kenning, the gorgeous Emmanuel Kenning, the 24-hour party person himself. So welcome, gentlemen. One to another, I'm sure you're running Biba Fevers. The question is, exactly how high on a scale of 1 to 7? Michael.
1 to 7. It's getting 6.5 now. It's really building up.
Manny.
Just a touch less, still in the 6s, probably 6.32.
Phil.
Yeah, about the same, beginning to warm up, get ready for it, but not quite there yet.
Okay. I suppose first of all, I really want to find out why. No one seems bummed out that Biba is returning its melting pot of a conference, to Manchester. Phil, why do Manchester Biba seem to rank higher and eclipse those in London?
Well, I mean, we work in London most of the time, so it's actually quite nice for us to go out of London. And Manchester's such a welcoming city, and the event just seems to be right there. The bars are great, everybody comes there feeling happy and leaving with headaches, which is what we want.
Manny.
Well, I think it was Steve White who said someone had described it to him as being Manchester is like the Butlins for brokers. I think that's probably spot on. I love it. I think it's fantastic. The venue works really well. It's the layout of it. But ultimately it is the sense of community, the buzz, what you can do, going to the restaurants, going to the bars afterwards, and a lot of it happens outside of the actual conference arena, if you like. I mean, for legal reasons you can't do this, but you can walk into any bar, throw a stone and hit a broker. So it's, you know, it's a fantastic place to be.
Michael.
Well, I'm not sure it is illegal in Manchester to do that, but I think exactly the same actually as Manny, that it is a real strong sense of community up there in Manchester. And that's what Biba's about. I think it's a community of brokers and insurers getting together. You can do that in Manchester. In London it becomes a little bit more separated and people go their own ways. So I'm really looking forward to bumping into people into bars and restaurants.
So if Biba 2014 is a true reflection of the state of the broking nation, what would you expect to cover in its scope, Manny? I mean, what are brokers born of frustration?
Well, rewinding it, in 2013 you obviously had the FCA and you had, you know, fears of double, treble dips and the rest of it, so you might have seen brokers sort of wailing and gnashing their teeth. I think 2014, a lot of it's been about specialisms, so you'll have different areas and different types of brokers, but the overriding feeling I'm getting is optimism. Everyone's looking forwards, looking up, going around with a smile on their face and thinking, as long as we do business properly and we're, you know, compliant, and we have the specialisms and we have the staff and we have the training, we have the contacts with insurer partners, things can very much look brighter. So yeah, people will be looking pretty happy, I suspect.
Phil?
I certainly feel that. I feel optimism in the broker market. There are challenges with compliance. The FCA is going to get more intrusive, but I think a lot of that, good brokers don't need to worry about those things. And actually the economy is picking up. Personal service is becoming more and more valued actually, and I think even for things like car insurance, buying on the internet is not such a great experience, and I think brokers are beginning to pick up on that and sell their services.
So should we take a trip to the first day of the conference? Michael, what has LV got up its sleeve for this year's event for the delegates? Just looking for a bit of fun.
Okay, well we've got another cracking stand again this year. Updated every year, just made some minor tweaks to it. We've got some good games for people to come along and play. We fill our stand with our people. That's where we think, you know, that's the best way to engage with brokers. So we've got people from all levels of the organisation. Of course, Phil and I will be there, as will Mike Crane from the commercial side. All our account managers will be there. We've also got 2 people who actually won a competition internally to come and host our bar. So the LV bar is going to be there. So Janice and Bryony will be there helping to serve brokers and meet people. So we've got some good games, we've got some good giveaways. Our LV cuddly toy is going to be there as usual, instantly recognisable.
And of the interstellar lineup of speakers booked for 2014 event, who would you be in a panic over if you miss seeing? Karen Brady, John Major, Jon Snow, and why?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to miss all of them actually, because I tend to make sure I'm around on the stand with the brokers. Of those three, I think the most interesting actually would be John Major, and that sounds strange, using interesting and major in the same sentence, but I think he's kind of probably not as dull as he seems, and he'll have some really interesting insights about his time in government and his view of the world and business in general. So yeah, I think he'd be really good.
And Phil?
I would say John Major as well. We've got a general election coming up. We've got the Scottish independence vote, and then we've got the rise of UKIP, and I think all those things, he'll have some good insight on that, particularly given his own battles with the Eurosceptics in his party when he was Prime Minister. So I'll look forward to hearing what he has to say.
Okay, well, unfortunately that's all we have time for now. We're going to move on and find out how the people at Biba Towers are planning for this year's conference in Manchester.
I think they can expect an awful lot. I think they can expect the biggest and best insurance broking event in the European insurance broking calendar. We have a fantastic lineup of headline speakers, from Karen Brady to John Major, John Snow, David Davis, Ming Campbell, Lord Prescott. Some fantastic networking opportunities, some really key seminar sessions, whether it be on customer service, whether it be on what the regulator is doing, whether it's about issues are involving motor insurance. And the best buzz you can get about working in the UK insurance broking sector. I've had a couple of people mention to me that they think this event is a little bit like Butlins for brokers. So with all the fun that entails, it should be a fantastic event. I think you'll find the mood of the UK insurance broking sector to be very, very buoyant. There is a real realisation now that there is a huge opportunity in the whole advice space around financial services, as highlighted by what we've seen in the budget recently. I think the whole advice sector, right the way across the financial services sector, is waking up to the huge opportunity we have been given, and I think that will manifest itself in a real positive attitude amongst the brokers that come along to Manchester on the 14th and 15th of May. That's a very good question. I was having a look across the association at the teams that my colleagues support. We have supporters in the office for Ipswich Town, for Derby County, for Sunderland, for Norwich City, for Manchester United, for Liverpool and for Arsenal. So I don't think there's too much blame can be attached to Biba for any failings on Manchester United's part or any successes on Manchester City's part.
Ken Barlow.
Soap.
Elsie Turner.
Nope, it was Elsie Tanner.
Percy Sturgeon.
Nope.
Ina Sharples.
Soap.
Emily Bishop.
Soap.
Minnie Hotwell.
Nope.
Kevin Webster.
Soap.
Jack Daniels.
Nope.
Bet Lynch.
Soap.
Rita Fairclough.
Soap.
Todd Grimshaw.
Nope.
David Pleat.
Nope.
Ivor Tilsley.
Nope.
Bridget Riley.
Soap.
Curly Sue.
Nope.
Schmeichel.
Soap.
Blanche Hunt.
Soap.
Vera Swansworth.
Nope.
Ashley Peacock.
Soap.
Glenn Fairclough.
Nope. That's Len Fairclough. He says, showing his age.
Well, who would have thought the Biba team would be such soap fans? Well, now I'm pleased to say that we're joined in the studio by Post reporter Katie Mariner, who has travelled 11,000 miles from New Zealand to join us at Biba 2014. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you.
So, Phil, do you have some friendly advice for Katie as she goes round and round the conference floor to avoid weirdos begging you to talk to them, to make sure she's not shell-shocked into confusion by it all?
Well, you've got to pace yourself, Katie, and I would suggest a really easy start. Come to the LV stand, have a sausage roll and a coffee, good grounding, and then be completely mercenary about nicking as much free stuff from all the stands as you can. Even if you haven't got kids that want them, my dog loves all the furry toys. He rips them apart and it's wonderful. He loves it coming back from Biba. So enjoy it. End the day on the LV stand as well. Have a nice glass of wine or a beer with us, because it's the friendliest stand in the whole of Biba.
Michael?
Okay, I think I'd adopt the same tactics you would do in a Moroccan street market, and that is don't make eye contact with anyone unless you want to go to their stand, because you'll be sucked in, and before you know it, you'll be hearing about some new proposition from somebody. And as Phil said, come to our stand, you'll see it, it's instantly recognisable, nice big and green and white. We'll have some good fun things going on. Come and have maybe a drink with us and warm yourself up for it. Yeah.
And Katie, you stepped on Manchester Soul recently to do a regional review ahead of the conference. Was there a buzz in the city, and what expectations do you have about the event since you've come home?
The buzz was actually huge, and in fact all anyone wanted to talk to me about was Biba 2014. So I've just got a few snippets of what insurers and brokers were telling me while I was in Manchester. One person said that they actually look forward to the Biba Conference being in Manchester more than a United City derby, while someone else said that they actually don't eat for 2 whole days before the conference just to make room for all of the bacon butties that they're going to be consuming while they're there. Someone else actually gave me this as a gift.
That's awful.
So I can only assume that they're just completely confused about the whole situation.
Justin Bieber.
But actually, the thing that most people were excited about were rumours of a Biba-led pizza eating competition. So I think it's fair to say that with all of this build-up, I've got pretty high expectations for Biba 2014.
And this does bring me nicely onto my last question, and I'll start with you, Michael, here. How do you plan to train for the spontaneous drinking binges and freebie bum fights that tend to break out at Biba, so you're not left behind as an ordinary Joe?
Well, 25 years in the industry, it's in your blood, kind of growing up with it. So, I would actually say you need to train beforehand by eating loads and drinking loads before you go, and then you can detox afterwards. But pace yourself, plenty of water, don't forget the ibuprofen, and for the ladies, flat shoes when you're going home is going to be a big one, definitely.
So, as a Biba virgin, Katie, how are you planning to prepare yourself for Biba 2014?
Well, I think I'll probably follow the lead of my seasoned post colleagues and see how they take to the floor, but I think it will be crucial to make sure I get round to the corners of the exhibition hall, because I think that's where all the good things will be hiding.
And finally, Phil,